All right, good morning, good morning, everybody. How we doing? How we feeling? It is officially hump day. Let me get my headphone right. All right, let's get right on into this. Let's make sure I'm checking all my levels and everything. Good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this economic calendar. Get our pre-market insight. Gotta sip me some tea. All right, so for Wednesday, today is the FOMC day. Just a light FOMC meeting minutes, which is kind of weird to say light for the FOMC day, because usually lately they've been doing a lot of things, and Powell's been speaking almost every day. So anyway, today we got that, and also we got crude oil inventories as usual at 10:30. Then we have tomorrow we have initial jobless claims and the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, and then Friday we have existing home sales. All right, so let's go ahead and look at that power range report. All right, so for the NQ futures power range for today's session, we have a high of 13,213.25 with a low of 13,181.5. When I posted this, we were trading short, and we still are, down 1.75% with a volume of 148K and an ATR 264.15. Let's go ahead and look at that on the charts. And the misses is in the building. All right, you can see, we opened up this session in a sort of a little bit of consolidation before we just started selling off, and we've continued to sell off throughout the entire session. So I'll definitely be looking for a pullback, and I'll be taking, using my normal method to take a short on a pullback. That'll be, that's what I'm looking for this morning. If we look at the daily, we can see that we had a nice, our price pivoted nice off this 50 SMA. It's a nice little pivot there, nice little setup. So I saw this last night before it actually took the dip. It was highly likely that we would have this retracement or this sell-off back to support. So we'll see if we can break support today around the 930, 930 range. We still got a ways to go before we get there, but definitely possible in this market with how the wide, as wide of a trade, as wide of a range that we are trading in. Let's see, right now overall we're down. We've had a 7%, almost an 8% pullback. Yep. All right, so just some things to keep track of. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the market. And you know what? I forgot to do this last night also. So let's see. I got some time, so I can do. I'm just gonna do the main ones. Gonna clear this out and do ES. Put the power range up for. For the S&P futures. Come on, there we go. All right, so not as much of a sell-off. It hasn't sold off as strong with ES, which is pretty much the norm for ES. Like, it'll kind of follow what NQ is doing or another index market is doing, but the move won't be as strong. However, it's kind of relative in terms of how many ticks, because ES has a higher tick value. So like just looking at it, with a visual inspection, it doesn't look as significant, but in terms of the value, it is a significant drop for ES. So pretty much the same picture over there. A lot of bears, nice little turnover, nice little pivot. right there. We still got a lot of room to go before we get to the previous support. Not previous support. It is the support. All right, so that's ES. Let me go ahead and not take too long with these. Let's go ahead and look at the crude since we do have inventories this morning. Make sure I got everything cleared out there. Alright, so crude is also selling off in the same fashion as NQ. Of course, it's going to have sharper dips like we got right here. But since we do have inventories this morning, I wouldn't be too aggressive until that that comes out, until that event takes place. Got early morning cotton mouth. And so hanging around in this range here on the daily. We are trading at support, so we can definitely expect some kind of reaction once we trade down to this in this level, at the level that it's currently at. Let's go ahead and look at gold. The world's favorite hedge. And gold has been just bouncing around the whole session. Had a nice little dip in the European session and completely wiped out all of that in today's pre-market, starting around 8 a.m. Eastern time. Traded all the way back up to plus, what is that, 4. So gold is all over the place this morning. Still, making this run into back to the all-time highs. Still got a ways to go, of course, but in a shorter time period, we are making new highs, or higher highs and higher lows. All right, and last but not least, let's go ahead and look at the euro currency. Go ahead and clear this out. Must be time. Well, no. I was looking at this price action here and it looks a little light. So I'm thinking maybe it's time for a contract rollover, but we got full bars over here. So euro is doing it. I'm on the wrong day. Okay, let me get it right. Go ahead and scroll all to end. Okay. Now we in there. Slightly similar to what gold is doing. It did have a nice little bullish pop overnight. Retraced all that during the European session and it continued lower. And now we're just kind of hanging out sideways. So nice little wide range for the euro currencies. And on the bigger time frame, which is slowly bouncing our way higher. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so got about 5 minutes to the bell. Let me go ahead and get my pre-market snapshot. This is not the one that I want. Run back through my checklist to make sure I got everything taken care of. All my pre-market business taken care of. I got the snapshot. Did my meditation yoga session. All my platform windows are open. Pre-market notes. The lights are on. OBS, yep, that's on. Alright. On the goal is to trade the strategy to perfection. And always see the big picture. Wait a minute. Gotta remember to turn on the audio. Make sure I got my Delta board up. Seeing a lot of red on the Delta. In these last few minutes, we do got some positive Delta coming in, which is what I want to see, since I am looking for a pullback. All right, 30 seconds. We don't need. Oh, so we did have some. When I just something that I just saw. It just popped out to me. Come on now. So we do have this key level here at 958. This is a balance level that we are bouncing off of. So this is something for me to just mentally take a note of. All right, I want this up here. For sure, I will short this if it gets back up here. I am thinking about revisiting my first bar rule. I have to, do some study on it, and just from what I can remember, that rule may not be serving me as well as it initially was. Now that I've upgraded and made some changes to my strategy. actually, with that rule, I've actually missed a few opportunities over the last few days or the last couple of months. So we trading it back into a lot of noise. We got a lot of noise up here, of course, because of all this trading action, of all the volatility. My strategy, I'm not worried about timing it. It's just, trying to get in at the best prices and, scale into the position. You got to remember, that I'm looking at my trades as not individual trades, but as a complete position, which is something that I've been kind of struggling with lately. I got myself into looking at all the orders that I put in as just individual trades. But I need to be looking at it as one position that I'm just scaling in and out of. That's me personally. As I always say, do what works best for you. So if I didn't have this 3-minute rules, since I brought it up, this would be an area that I would be looking to short to get in on the pullback. But it's kind of noisy in terms of the volume. Still got a lot of positive delta coming in, but I'm just looking for a slight reaction there. That's to see how, what we do from here. Still collecting data on this chart. I gotta fix that. That's not right. Our price is being held up at this level. We also have our point of control there. Also, this is a level something I just realized. This is a level when we do have strong sell-off overnight, that this is one of my main levels in terms of the power range. Fib levels that I feel like I'm saying levels too much. This is one of the fib levels that I will always look to see a reaction. Once we have this, sort of a strong pullback. If we pull back to this level or the one above it, I'm definitely looking for a reaction there from sellers. got a slight reaction on that at that level. We got a little battle going on. I'm not crazy about taking a breakout or a takeout. Depending on how this kind of closes, I may make an exception. Just looking at the price action. I got an order slightly above where the high of this bar that we're currently forming. Waiting for it to close. It may not give me a chance to do what I wanted to do, so we'll just wait for it, because I didn't want it that way anyway, so it works out for me. Been kind of a rough week to catch any good trades in this hour that I trade. Only had a couple small winners, which is it's better than losing, of course. But this first hour of the open has been it's been a lot of chop, a lot of volatility that doesn't work out in favor towards my strategy and what I like for the price to do. But I am making progress in execution, which is way more important than the results of my P&L. Alright, so a lot of indecision there, or just this last 3-minute bar shows the battle that's going on. We're trying to push the price lower, and we definitely could with this price action. Now, there's my expectations, and that's what the market wants to do. So, just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. This price action, I don't expect us to, I don't expect any real sell-off here. Expect, the price to chop around for a while. Just seeing how long it can hold this range, what range it creates from here. If it takes us a little bit lower, we just hang around here for a while. I think a few things needs to happen before NQ does what ES is trying to do. ES is trying to take the prices into new lows, new session lows. Slowly making its way there. It's a nice little consolidation right here to take a breakout from. See what kind of follow through we get. I like this bar right here. It's a 933 bar. lot of times I forget about ES. I'm supposed to be collecting data for ES as well. I forget about it. It would have been nice to take the short right there. So what I'm not gonna do is let ES tell me how to trade in Q, because you know, while they do have similar what's the word I want to use? I guess I can say price action throughout the day. They don't have to trade exactly the same. ES or any other index can, you know, completely trade in one direction, in EQ just does something completely opposite, or just, you know, just does its own thing, and vice versa. So, I mean, there are some people that like to, you know, look at one market to trade another, but that's not something that I've ever really done. Alright, so right back up. So we did extend the range. Well, we extended the range from what I was initially looking at. I was only initially looking at this bar right there, but we took it back to that support range. So it is doing what I expected. So let's see how high we can take the price. So I am scaling in up here. Got a lot of positive delta jumping in, but cumulative delta is, let me just watch it and see what it does. Not speculate too much. Pick some arbitrary numbers, or it's not really arbitrary. It's leveled over here to scale in. Log that screenshot in the journal. We are getting some resistance at the VWAP. Also -4. PR -4. Had 200 SMA slightly above the VWAP. So a lot of reasons to believe that we have some shorts of some sellers at this level. Alright, go ahead and move my break even also. Come on, short sellers, take this price lower. Even though I will be looking at this balance level here. I've already been triggered break even. Let me put that in the journal. I need those that move the markets to give us some of that savage price action that we've been seeing lately. My goal is to see, not to complain about it, but to see all the algos and all that stuff, but to see how I can benefit from it. I'm going to move and break it down just a little bit. As my daughter used to say, just a little bit. So what I could have did there, so I'm taking this also in Leeloo, but I'm taking it one contract. And I got this set up over in the journal. Link is in the description. Anyway, the whole point I'm making, I could have just took my target. I could have placed my target here. My target was down there. Since we do have this balance level, and I definitely expect some, what we got at this balance level. So that took me out of that play. So all we're focused on is the execution. So good trade on the execution. Not worried about the P&L. The P&L will take care of itself. So we definitely still have some sellers in this market. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this like this. I'm gonna remove that. Actually, nope, I'm gonna reset. what I got over here in my data collection screen, or whatever we want to call it. It's not necessarily install of Sierra chart. This is an aggressive entry based off of what am I saying? Based off of structure and the volume profile. A little bit above the VWAP in the 200. We're just looking at the price action. Selling definitely does not look to be done. In my personal opinion, I do think it's highly likely that they do find a location to turn the market around and take us back lower. It's that billion-dollar question, is where and when. They took this one. We got an immediate reaction off the 200. Let's see what we do at the low of that previous candle, that bearish candle. If I was looking at trading this, I wouldn't take it personally, because we do have that balance level right there. And we're gonna, if it does break the low of that previous bar, we may have some buyers sitting right here that we, meet instantly. So we got a nice little battle zone going on. I personally like to stay out of the battle zones. So at this point, I'm just popcornizing it. I've already got a winning trade for the day, so I lost my train of thought. Just looking at this, when looking at the break. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I already, got my winning play of the day, so I don't necessarily have to keep trading. It could be good for the day and just come back again tomorrow. Eventually, I will get the kind of price action that I'm looking for within my time frame. So it's just a matter of being patient and continuing to focus on my execution. We don't have to make all the money today. We can just spread it out. It's important to have a long-term perspective. I heard someone else say this on a podcast that I was watching yesterday, the EYL podcast to be specific, is that it's important to have a long-term perspective, even as short-term traders. Like, you want to make money over a long term. You don't want to make a lot of money today and just to give it back tomorrow, or make a lot of money in the morning just to give it back, in the afternoon. Like, that's like, we're all here, to make money. There are some of us that are passionate about this and would do it for free, which is, I fall in that category. I would do this for free if that was something that I had to do. Of course, I want to get paid to do this, but I'm passionate about it. I love doing it, so I'm going to do it regardless. But at the end of the day, we all are here to make money, so it's kind of pointless if you make money and you keep trading to the point where you just overtrade and give it back. Like, yeah, defeats the purpose of you being here in the first place. I think I kind of made this out the same point the last stream, but it's definitely important to have your cutoffs to know when to call it a day and just come back tomorrow. Keep that long-term perspective. Alright, so we got another reaction off the balance level. Traded right back up to the high of those previous bars. And we're just battling it out right here. While at the same time building a position. So we can look at this from the perspective of those that move the market, and they're just, collecting orders here to build their position, to move it, whichever way they would like for it to move. My job is to be on the right side of that move. I try to get in as early as possible, which is why I've evolved my strategy to where it is today. I just got an idea for my book. I hate when I get ideas for stuff that I want to create. When I'm in the middle of doing something else, I can't just stop what I'm doing. Like, I get my best ideas when I'm driving. Of course, I can't stop and take notes when I'm driving, or if I'm, taking a shower or something. I always get my best ideas when I'm not, in a position to take notes on it. All right, so right back down. And we got this nice little range here, and right back up. This is DJ Khaled price action. That's what I call it. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's only 10 o'clock. Feel like I've been here for 2 hours already. This is the kind of pricing that we got this morning. And as a lesson learned, definitely don't take your eye off the screen when they slow things down like this. They'll move it when you least expect it. I make that mistake a couple times. Yeah, they'll slow things down just enough to get me to start, taking my eyes slightly off the screen, and then as soon as I do that, then the move presents itself. And I was waiting for. with all that being said, I'm not looking for a breakout, which is what we're attempting to do right now. So if it breaks here, I'm just gonna let it break. A lot of participation came in at 1360. I wanted it a little bit higher, as we can see over here with my data collection. So that over there at ES, that did turn into a look below and fail. And I thought I put this thing, thought I silenced this phone. We're making another attempt to dip below. My money is definitely on the bears today. Just to make that clear. This is definitely enticing to take a short down here, which I'm not going to do because that's not part of my plan. I'm verbalizing this to show, to kind of express my perception on how they're setting this thing up. But this can also turn into a pivot higher right here. So we're looking to, we got our higher low there, or let me get on the right screen. We have our higher low here. Got a higher low right there. And then we could possibly be creating one here. Or we can break all that down and then take it lower. Sort of a higher high there. Of course, a higher high there. So from a short-term perspective, this is a nice bullish trend, but with a lot of resistance. And these are wonderful lines that I'm drawing. Again, I'm staying true to the power range and the overnight price action. And my money is on the bears. We just don't know exactly how and when we're gonna get the price action that I'm personally looking for. Getting to the end of my trade window, so with the next couple of minutes I'm going to be removing I still got to order out on the Leeloo side of the game, but it doesn't happen within the next couple of minutes, which is highly unlikely. I'm going to go ahead and remove that order and be done for the day. Got a point of control here, as well as our balance level. Let's see what kind of response we get here, if we get any kind of response at all. And then looking into this cluster of DJ Khaled price action, that this is some resistance, structural resistance in here. Just taking a quick look at the TPO chart. For NQ, we do have some single prints that starts at 93.5 and goes up to our balance level at 103, which is right here. So it's falling right in line with our volume profile, and that's in the range that I have my order set at. Which more than likely I'm not gonna get the opportunity to take that, if we even get back up there, you know, which is looking like a strong if at this point. Possibly we could take out the low of that previous 3-minute bar that just came in, or that we just closed. Revisiting our balance level, shooting past the V pop. As well as our -5 PR level. Catching a lot of resistance there, and we're just gonna watch it and see what happens. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay of this and see what the levels are doing. Not sure how that sounds. Alright, so it looks like we may trade back to my level, or to the level that I want. However, right now, looking at the TPO, this resistance that we're seeing right here also makes sense. Not getting a whole lot of support from the delta to take me back to the level that I want. Right back into that balance level. See, I stay out of the zone, out of this kind of noise. It's like trying to make it somewhere fast on the expressway during rush hour. It's going to be more frustrating than it is, fun to drive, if that analogy makes any kind of sense whatsoever. Alright, so let me collect some data here, if I can. So technically, since I take a break here, if I was taking a break here, it would make more sense to have a tighter stop based off of the support resistance of that range that I'm trying to take the break from. So that didn't happen anyway. So just trying to collect some data. That's all I'm doing at this point. I messed that all the way up. Anyway. Alright, so it is the end of my trade window. Let me make sure I clear out all of the trades that I have in the Leeloo and go ahead and call it a day. Definitely appreciate everybody for coming through and hanging out with me and trading with me. Hope y'all have a good rest of the day, good rest of your week. This market does something a little bit better than what it's doing right now. And with all that said, I will see y'all on the next one. Have a good weekend and all that good stuff. Trade it easy.